Welcome back. It's spooky season. Got the ears. Hope you guys are ready for a good old time this fall. It's not winter yet, is it? No. Anyways, today I'm going to show you how I set up my file sizes for creating my webcomic Sharkle Umi on Webtoon. It's a pretty simple process, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it's done, and maybe it will help you create your own Webtoon. So let's get started. So if we take a look at the page where you add an episode on Webtoons, we can get a little bit of information here. The most important that we're going to be using today is that the image must be less than 800 pixels wide and 1280 pixels long. So that means that when you're making your canvas, you have to make sure that you have these specifications in mind. File size I won't worry about too much right now because I have yet to have a problem with that. For the most part, it's pretty easy. Quick disclaimer, I like to use Clip Studio Paint. That's how I produce all of my comic. I think it's an awesome program. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's got so many great things for comic artists and digital artists. I think it's just a lot of fun. So when I am making, here, let me close this. We don't want this anymore. Boop. When I am going to make a new chapter, what I used to do is I'd hit new, and then with those same file specifications, I'd make sure the unit was in pixels. I would change it to what it said, the 800 by 1280. And you can kind of see already that it's a nice long canvas that is perfect for scrolling on a phone. Make sure that when you're creating your canvas, your resolution is at least 300 or more. The reason for that is because if you ever want to print any of your drawings or any of your comics one day, you're going to want it at least at 300. That's how they print. And it's also just really good for your art. It helps things from getting fuzzy. If you ever feel like your art is really fuzzy, maybe your resolution is too low or your canvas is too small. So just like that, we will have our canvas. And you might think, well, that was easy. You know, I'm going to go ahead and create a panel here. Well, I usually like to do a sketch, so I'm just going to do this real quick. But I'll be like, wow, here's a panel. Here's a panel. Here's a character talking. His name is Bob. He loves building. No copyright intended. He's got a cool hat. And, you know, you work, and it's a fun process. Sorry, distracted. So this is a perfectly good way to get your Webtoon going. This is honestly all you need. But you may be wondering, what about Webtoon artists who may or may not have like one long stretch of art, or like when you want the art to be one beautiful long piece that goes over multiple panels? I wondered that too, actually, for a while. Because you don't want to stitch them together. I tried doing that once where I was like, okay, like this is a speech bubble and it just barely fits at the bottom of this page, but the person talking it is in this panel on the next page, you know, so they're the one speaking. So I wanted to have just the speech bubble connect from here to here, and just trying to stitch them together so they would realign perfectly was a lot of effort. I didn't really quite appreciate that. So there's a solution for that. Easy. This is actually what I do now for all of my file setups. I will check this out. We're gonna do a little bit of math. I know as artists, we don't like math, right? I mean, who likes that? No one. But this is simple math. We got this. So we're gonna take that 1280 and we're gonna multiply it by 3, and you should get 3840. So we're gonna increase the canvas size, just the height, because the width always has to be 800. Like, you can't increase that. It won't fit on a phone anymore. Webtoons won't like that. But the height, we're going to triple that to 3840. Keep that same resolution. Bam. So now we have a canvas that is essentially 3 of these little boys put together. These are the little boys. I'm naming them little boys now. So here's little boy 1. Little boy. Get him a hat too. Boys love hats. I shouldn't make that assumption. Anyways, there he is. So that's what this canvas is now. I'm making another colored little boy so we can tell the difference. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing this, but I don't know, I just feel like it'd be easier to look at. I'm a visual person. I'm sure lots of us are visual people. Bam! Look at that! 3 little boys! Now you have a triple baby, which is awesome because you might need for your comic a very specific long piece of art. For example, you have a very important giraffe and you have to show how long his neck is. You can now do that. And when people are scrolling, for example, this is the little zoom 100% button. So this is like the full size. When people are scrolling, you don't have to cut it off. You can keep scrolling, 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 scrolling. It's like, wow. Perfect. Hooves are important for a giraffe, I think. Anyways, so I usually have my canvases set up like this now, just because it's a lot easier to see the flow of panels, kind of how they interact with each other, and if I ever need to have like a gradient going on in the back. There's a guy climbing the giraffe because he is the #1 giraffe lover. So yeah, but now that we're in this stage, we eventually do have to bring it back to the little boy stage because otherwise Webtoon will not take it. You can't post it, can't export this as one image and just hope it's going to work. So what I like to do for that, I'm actually going to show you just a little bit of my own. I'm going to use my own as reference so I don't have, it makes more sense. I hope it makes more sense. So this is an example of really enjoying that long format where you can extend the panels over multiple pages. But if I try to cut it and eyeball it, you don't want to cut it in a way that the panels become mismatched, right? You want everything to line up perfectly like you have it here. And that's a very easy thing to do. You're just going to come over here to edit. You're going to hit change canvas size. And you see this little reference point? That's how it knows which direction to change the canvases. So we're going to bring it back to that 1280. And if you just type in 1280, since your reference point's in the middle, it's just going to take from the middle, which is not a bad thing, but I like to start from the top, middle, bottom. So reset that, start from the top, change it to 1280, bam. And now we have a perfectly sized little boy canvas, right as it was. File, export that as a, well, I do JPEG. Probably most people would recommend PNG. It has a better, I guess, compression. It looks nicer. But JPEG I also kind of like because in this quality section, if I ever have too many panels, I can drop this quality down a couple points and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But that's just me. Bam. Okay. And we have our first page in our 3-page party. I'm gonna go ahead and just undo that. And we're back to normal size. I have not saved the canvas or anything. I only exported it as an image, so that doesn't save the canvas. That just kind of creates a new image based off of what you put. And we're gonna repeat that 2 more times. Leave the reference point in the middle. Change it to 1280. File, export, JPEG. You're probably gonna get the gist of it by the 3rd one. And edit, change canvas size 1 more time. Oh, wrong button. Change canvas size 1 more time from the bottom, put that 1280. And even for speed, I like copying this. You can Control C this number so that you can just Control V it right in there and you immediately get the number. I like to do that for speed. Anything that goes for speed is great when it comes to comics because comics take so long. But I'll talk about that in another episode. I have some speed time saving tips. Am I calling this an episode? Is this a series? To be continued. But you know, you get the gist of it. Bam! And just like that, you now have your little 3. If I went back in and opened them, they will line up perfectly as you upload them onto Webtoon. They're cut to be perfectly matching with their buddy. Bam! See? There's her little hips, and there's her little butt. That's probably the worst butt I've ever drawn, but that's okay. I shouldn't have pointed it out. So, I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer them. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys really have fun, stay safe, be clean, but also enjoy yourself a little sweet, treat yourself. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.